Today, I'm going to see how well you know your smoke alarm. Know your smoke. Today I found 3 different kinds of detectors. Actually, they were all in my house. I found this one. This is actually a heat detector. It says on it goes off if it reaches 139 degrees Fahrenheit. So really this thing is only going to make an alarm sound if it's on fire, which, I guess that's better than nothing, but I want to be warned before that. And this one here is actually a little bit older CO2 alarm, not quite as old as this one, but this monitors CO2, and then this one is a little more updated smoke alarm. So you can kind of tell from left to right. If you can notice, this one you can tell is basically yellow, and this one's kind of a creamy color, and this one is white. Believe it or not, these all started off as white. They're kind of made to turn yellow over time. There's a couple different schools of thought on this. Some people think they do that on purpose when they make the plastic. Either way, if it starts turning yellow, probably a good idea to at least check the manufacturing date or probably just replace it. A good rule of thumb is, as far as smoke detectors, or if you're going this route, heat detectors, is to replace them about every 7 to 10 years. The manufacturers say they're good for 10, but I like to fall in that 9 range. I mean, they're not that expensive, and for the asset that they're protecting, you and your family, it's probably worth it to replace them. And then your CO2 alarm actually doesn't last quite as long. It says 5 to 7 years, so it's probably a good idea to replace it within that 6-year window. One quick tip, when you do have a home inspection, a good inspector is going to make sure you have alarms where they're supposed to be. And also your inspector should be pushing the test button, so at least you can hear if the alarm works or has power to it. It's also a good time to check and make sure all the detectors in the house are interconnected. It may not be required in every house, but I've converted many a house from stationary detectors to inner wire detectors. It's not that big of a job, and for the increase in safety, it's definitely worth doing. Another thing about home inspections is a good inspector will find them, they'll locate them, and they'll even test them, but they're not going to unhook them from the ceiling and read the back and see when it expired. That's up to you as the homeowner. So real quick, what I like to do is when I'm mounting a new detector, you can read the back and find out when it's manufactured, when it should be replaced. I like to get my Sharpie and just say, replaced by this date. Like this one says May of 2025, which seems weird to say, but it's just a lot quicker than looking for the fine print and finding out when it needs to be replaced. You only have to look for it once, write it on there, boom, hook it up, you're good to go. And one last tip, it's a great idea to test your own detectors at least once a month or every other month just to make sure that they're working. This is a tiny little piece of technology, but it's extremely important in the grand scheme of your family and your house. So hopefully you found these tips useful and you can start applying them in your own home. Have a good day.